Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his good friend Matt, the lumberjack landlord. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing super awesome.
Hey, man. So I don't know if you had a chance yet to watch Greg Dickerson's video number 1 yesterday about new home builds, but basically in that video, we kind of got to the point that maximum pain for builders is about 6 months out, right? Higher rates, lower demand, all of these things kind of getting to the end of the year. So what I wanted to ask you, as somebody's in the market all the time, as I am, is if you were going to, like, your mom, your sister, cousin, somebody that's close to you, if they were in the market to buy a home, whether it's new or existing, but it's home ownership, not rental, would you advise them to maybe just hold off 6 months, let the pain build? Or, well, I mean, what would you tell someone like that? Again, as somebody you love, you care for, would you tell them to sit tight for 6 months? What would you tell
First, I would say check my schedule.
them?
And, and then I would say there's some really good content you need to watch first, so I don't get a bunch of dumb questions. Yeah, usually in all honesty, so obviously I guarantee you, and I get that question a lot, like from friends, right?
Yeah, sure.
Friends and family.
Me too.
I get it all the time.
Almost
All
every
the
week.
time.
Yeah.
Literally almost every week.
Every week.
And so I think that what I've told all of them, I said, listen, you don't have to do what I'm doing, but what I'm doing is I am building my buy box for anything that I want to buy. I'm going into, because I've mastered 7 asset classes, or excuse me, 3 asset classes in 3 markets. So basically 9.
Right.
You know, I've got 3 asset classes in 3 markets that I've mastered, elite, know everything to everything about that stuff.
Okay.
What I don't, so I've taken the opportunity to say, I want to be ready to buy. I need a bigger pot to pull from. And so locally, I've added 2 more markets.
Oh, wow.
And where in Vegas, I've added that market, and I've actually added 2 towns in that market.
Okay.
That we're interested in. So the reason that I've done that is because I think that, could you get a steal in the next 60 days? You could, comparatively speaking.
Right.
But I think there are now, it's amazing. One of the things that I reviewed with Brian as my broker is, what are the new builders?
Brian Lebo.
Brian Lebo. Yep. Brian Lebo from Vegas, guest on Mike's channel, has his own channel. Fantastic. But one of the things he's seeing is from new home builders. They're actually now, they would never, ever, ever call agents. Now they're calling agents and offering a 2% to sell.
Wow.
And the funny thing is 2%, as you guys know, is not the going rate. It's actually 3%. And so it's really interesting is that corporate America is being corporate America, penny wise, pound foolish, and stupid.
Yep.
If Mike and I'll speak for you, Mike, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but if Mike and I were in charge of that division, we would say, we will go to 3%. And if you have an all cash deal that can close in 14 days, we'll give you an extra half point. So it's 3.5 points.
Absolutely. Maybe even a full point. Yeah. This is speed, folks. Yes.
Exactly. And that's why we would do it, is to create speed, because we want to get these assets. Mike, one of our subscribers, who I think does a phenomenal job at what he does for a living, which is manage car dealerships. We've gone back and forth debating some things, and I love that. I have no problem debating somebody if you're not going to act like an idiot. And he's a smart guy. So we go back and forth, and I said, I'm looking for 2 heavy duty pickup trucks. I said, where's my pocket? He goes, Matt, anything that's super expensive on my lots, I'm getting rid of, because people aren't going to qualify for these massive $80,000 and $90,000 loans on vehicles, and they're not going to have the cash to buy it.
Yeah.
So I think, to that point, I think honestly, if I'm telling people, I'm saying, you better be doing your homework now. Like I've been saying for 6 months, even more so, do your homework, do your homework, do your homework. Your time is coming. And I think that the perfect example is the house that I looked at was $550 2 years ago. It's now 1.1 million. It got reduced to 1 million. It's still not a deal to me at 900. I think that all the frost, do we do like the stock market and give it all back? No, but can we give back 30%, 35% in that market? Quite possible. And then at that point, it's true appreciation over 2 or 3 years, as opposed to not true appreciation. So yeah, I'm looking for a deal. So if I'm in their shoes, I would be telling them, do the work, do the work, do the work, and really start to understand. And then you get in where you feel confident, because I'm not concerned if I pay 7.5% for a mortgage right now.
Yeah, neither am I.
don't care.
Yeah. So I didn't know where this was going to go, but it's kind of the same thing I would tell. It's frankly what I tell people all the time, right? I think getting a home in 6 months is a great goal. But to your point, you don't just wake up 6 months from now and write an offer. That's why I'm always afraid with this concept of, hey, maximum pain is 6 months out. I'm going to chill and sit back and watch Netflix for 6 months. No, you never know when the deal of a lifetime is coming. You need to figure out, get your buy box as you're doing, look at stuff every day, watch the market has a pulse. And what we're going through right now is not quite the fastest change I've ever seen, but it's up there. And buyers are having more and more power every day. And I want to talk about this $1 million house that you're looking at. I want to be very clear. Even in Vegas, I don't see a 30% market crash, but could you find the seller because of some unique situation that they need a 30% discount? Absolutely. I mean, that's what I fish for every day. I don't need a market crash to get a deal. I need the opportunity and a motivated seller. Which I fish for, right? I'll write lots of offers and eventually I'll find 1, 2, or 3. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, I think people, you got to do the work. Just because max pain is maybe 6 months out, that's not permission to be lazy. In fact, it's permission to double down. And again, we're not doing any good deals this year. The last 2 years, you watch my video, you hear me talk about good or great. Good left the building. We're only writing great. And if you're in a lucky enough situation to do multiple, I want every deal the next 2 years to be better than the preceding one. No questions asked. This is not about ties. We don't know where this is changing. We don't know what's going on. You're going to do 2 or 3. Great. Make sure 2 is better than 1 and 3 is better than 2. Do the freaking work.
Yep. One of the terms that I've started using is buy the slide.
Ah, there you go.
Because it's sliding. It's sliding down. It's going to slide down. The question is it one of those pukey slides?
Yep.
Or is it one of those gentle slides that my kids get on? Or at least everyone but my daughter, she likes the pukey slide. So
love her.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's crazy. So I think the crazy thing about this is as I look at the situation, yes, my buy box, yes, doing the work. I mean, literally, Mike, I'm doubling the number of markets because I've gotten elite in those others. Yeah. I'm doubling the number of markets because I don't have faith that the inventory is going to be where it needs to be for me to best execute a troubled seller.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's opportunity. And so I think where you can also, redefine your parameters, exactly what I said to Brian Lebo was, I want the house that looks like Miami Vice on the inside, dated, glass blocks, tile counters.
Yeah, total 80s.
I want that. Like, give me that hideousness, because that thing's going to foreclosure if somebody doesn't buy it. And I don't want to wait the year it might take or 2 years it might take for that thing to turn around. So I will buy from somebody. And the best part is like I always say, it only is one. It's just one. I only need one. I can't buy 20 if they come up. I just can buy one. So I might as well try and do my very best, not be afraid to walk away from the deal. To your point, real quick, when did you think in the last X amount of time, let's say the last few months, when do you think you felt like things really accelerated to the downside? When did you start to get a case of the pukies?
I think it was probably May.
Right.
Late April or May, I'm like, oh, it's about to get different.
Right.
And shortly thereafter, I dumped my search of first day listings. I'm like, I'm not playing there anymore. Yeah. So I changed my model or my business that fast. Yeah.
Yeah. So to that end, basically same for me. It was right around that May timeframe, beginning of May. It was like, this is starting to get ugly. And the cool thing is that in making that adjustment, I found a fourplex that's going to give me 40% returns based on Section 8 rents. I've got another piece of property that I'm waiting to have an answer back on that, quite frankly, I have to keep on rerunning the numbers because it appears as though it will give me, it's a property with multiple outbuildings on it. It looks like it will give me use of those buildings free of charge and make me 50% on my capital investment.
Wow.
So crazy things like that are adjusting, crazy things like that are happening. This particular seller is distressed.
Yeah.
And they need to get out, and they didn't want to carry paper, the seller financing. So they wanted nothing to do with any of it. They're just like, It's a primary for me. I need to just get out and take my money. And I'm like, you got it.
Yeah, I got a number for you.
Exactly. And that was the number he got.
There you
So
go.
we'll see. We'll see if he can live with that number.
Yeah, exactly. So this is, yeah, again, I just want people to hear this because I'm very concerned that people are going to go, I'm going to buy in 6 months and do nothing.
Nope.
No, buy box, learn, visit, see what's going on. Because you just like, if you find that one seller, it's going to give you 30% off today and the market's flat, take the deal, right? So do the work, folks, learn your buy box, network, grow relationships, tell everybody. Again, this is not a time to network less. This is a time to network more. Tell everybody your buy box, have it be in your email. Let's go. Where can people find you, Matt?
Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube and on Instagram, as well as 11:30 a.m. Eastern time on Sundays. And Mike, to that point, the networking piece, I have a video coming out this week that I've worked a ton of time on, no editing, but I've worked a ton of time on the content of it. And it is a differentiator that I'm not hearing any of the other investors I'm talking to using. It is a complete game changer.
I look forward to watching that. Again, when do you think that will come out? Sometime this week?
That will be out probably I'm guessing Thursday of this week. It'll be out is my guess.
Awesome. I look forward to it. Thanks for all you do, man. Take care.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike.
Mm-hmm.